I know there are lots of folks in this world that would contend to believe that anything you do has instant ramifications, instant quantifiable consequences, and rather hasty implications. If everything goes as the demons have planned, then yeah, that's exactly how it turns out. People do things as they should, things work out. If people do things they shouldn't do, then here goes the neighborhood. But in the long run, you can look at things differently. You can say that we understand that life is a puzzle. We have to learn the shape of the puzzle first, then start finding ways to fit new pieces in where old ones are missing, or find a new way to invent new pieces to go in where the other ones have been taken out, like where you lose loved ones, or you lose friends, or a job, or a routine has changed. Something happens and your life is kind of tousled, just the hubbub is everywhere. You see nothing but mindless sheeple just all about you, and you understand that the flock is exactly that. They are the flock. And there are plenty of us that are flock. Plenty of us. But there are also plenty of us that are supposed to be shepherds. Now, the shepherding that happens is a lot of catering to people and trying to help others understand what life is really all about, what all of those things mean, what the pressure is, why everything has pressure, why things have timing, why details are important. The ins and outs of all of your life is to the perception of reality. That is not everyone else's reality. Your everyday world that you live in is not what someone else sees or not someone else lives. That's hard for people to understand, that everyone has a separate purpose. And they need to realize that. You need to realize you are your own person. There are none other than you over you. Now, you can put others above you, and that's a good thing to do if you're an honorable person. You can make people, put people under your charge and take care of them. You can make people do the right thing and bless folks. But the real opportune moment comes when there's just a little bit of bliss that happens just a little bit before a line of crap starts to occur. Now, I know there are people who understand what I'm talking about, so you have that moment of bliss, like everything's awesome, everything's clicking, everything's working right, everything's going awesome, and then boom, 1 second later, one thing happens to derail all of that bliss and things go sideways. Now, that's happened a few times to me, more than a few, enough of an occasion for me to propose this dialogue, perhaps, for me to even understand half of what I'm saying. I had to have gone through it at least a couple of times, or, have had my bouts with it at least a couple of times before I even have a conversation about what to do in this situation, because one doesn't understand what one situation is unless one has already been through it before, or has had at least a haphazard crash course in understanding what the heck is reality. So, reality is perception-based, perspective-based, and it is personable, and it is collective. There are things that are both differential in the initiate and the group initiation. There are things that make maps look different, that makes the mood around a place different. I mean, I know it's hard to explain some of the ethereal magics, but some of the stuff is very esoteric, and some of it is very out there. So it doesn't exactly what formulations could be best when used to describe the modern world in a physical form. What we can see, feel, taste, and touch is our physical world, and that is what we live in. Everything we see, feel, taste, and touch is our reality. It's everything around us, our own bodies, our clothes, the cars we drive, the drinks we get from Starbucks, or whatever you do. If you go to like Target and get a drink, or the gas station like I'm about to, or if you go to, you know, Paws Coffee Shop in Fair Oaks, or if you go to any place really, that's just a geographical location. It happens to be your current location. That's your locus. Where you are is your identity. Where you are, therefore you are who you are. Wherever I am, therefore I must be, and whoever I am me, and it doesn't change no matter where I go. So there are things that I do understand that impact who you are, that who a person is impacted by certain situations. So the me can be changed in id and ego, both in the situation and in perspective, based on initiations done by both in public encounters with people that you may not normally meet, or encounters with people you may not normally know. Now, this includes going into a new city or something like that, or places that are not familiar to you, places you've never been before. It does change you. You get unique emotional responses in certain areas if you're sensitive to that kind of thing. You can be negatively impacted by a new area, or positively impacted based on the weather or the implications of the people in the surroundings. So all of that has emotional, or I would say what's the word I'm looking for? It's birthday massacre in the background if you can hear it, but by the way, I love it always. Anyway, what I was thinking of was ethereal plane type stuff. I was trying to think of a word that fits what I'm trying to describe, but anyway, the point that I was trying to make is that your situational identity is changing constantly based on your experiences. People you meet, people you know, those around you, impact who you are. They impact your personality or your perception of your personality, if you're that in tune to those around you. If you're just self-aware and oblivious to those surroundings, then nothing will happen to you directly. You're not living moment to moment. If you live moment to moment, then and only then we experience what I'm talking about. But the ethereal plane that exists all around us is impactful. We walk through it. We are among others that live here in the same place that we do. You have to understand that the multidimensional world that we live in, the existence we inhabit, is multidimensional. And we are transdimensional beings. We are multidimensional beings. We can exist in multidimensions at one time. We already do that. That should be common knowledge to most people, that you live in 1, 2, and 3 dimensions at the same time. Possibly also 4 and 5 occasionally. But you do technically live in a 2 and 3D world. So there's already 3 dimensions there. So, because that's what 3D means, is 3-dimensional. 3 dimensions. Because it puts it in a real life perspective. That's what 3D movies are supposed to do, to make you feel like you're actually there in the film, or with the people in the film, rather, or nearby. Locus, very near, proximal. It puts things in your face. 3D films do that. They put a lot of things in your face. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is that you already live transdimensionally in 3 dimensions. You're walking along the ground, that's 1 dimension. If you go up in the air, that's a 2-dimensional travel, but 3-dimensional existence, because you can see in omnidirections and feel in omnidirections and live in omnidirections, but you do exist in 2 and 3 dimensions already. So 4, 5, and 6, and so on, up to 13 or whatever infinity possible it could be, the infinitesimal, you know, the existence of all dimensions, as we can see layered like an onion, would be expressed in a way the current state of evolution. We've been de-evolved to a point where we can't comprehend this other realm unless we're severely intoxicated with what was it? The THC chemical from marijuana is very capable to do that in your dreams, have visions. You can also experience lucid dreaming through taking DMT or dimethyltryptamine, and that does have a significant effect or impact on most people. And you will have like a holy experience, like you are visiting God. So that is expected with the DMT. There's nothing shrouding that in any mystery. That's definitely to be expected when you take DMT. So, but beyond that, looking at what psychosis comes from that, most of it is apprehended through emotion. So what you think of and what you feel as yourself or other people see you as would be ultimately perceived if you were to impact someone else or meet them abruptly socially, encounter them in a physical form in, public, whatever, on the street. That sort of encounter would definitely impact you, and let them know if you're perceived as you expect yourself to be perceived, or if you are basically someone avoidable in conversation, and it's just a passerby type thing. But most of the time when I walk in my own hometown, when I walk past people, they say hey, they wave, I'm pretty friendly, so I wave and I say hey back and whatever. But there are some areas in this city, in this town, you don't want to do that shit. So, but it does occur. You don't want to do that here. Not in this area where I'm at now. But anyway, it's Northern California, by the way. Just Northern NorCal is what I'll tell you for now. But the point is that this area here is quite a decent area of California. It's not the most expensive area. It's kind of cheap. And does actually present a possible living wage type situation for maybe 1 to 2 part-time jobs per person, I would say, in a household, or someone with a really good job, pays really well, and then someone with a 1 to 2 part-time type job, or a full-time job that pays good, like Lyft or whatever, something like that. Because Lyft, you can make your own hours, and if you have your own car, you can definitely do it. Good idea. But that was some of the situations I was thinking of the updates on, was just talking about stuff like that. Stuff I've been thinking about while I've been working. So I've been taking some time off because I've been working a lot with Lyft, and that's why the videos haven't been coming out. But I do plan on resuming some of them, probably a little later, but I'm going to cross that bridge when I come to it. So I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks again. It's been Rayne.